it. Now, there was the one additional proposal that got left out of the initial packet. Remember, I got that from Mainscape later and said this one wasn't included for some reason. I don't know that that ever got approved.
I thought we did.
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Those
proposal.
additional 3,000-4,000 or something?
Two.
Like
What
Two.
was this for?
Additional landscaping work that was done along Pebblebrook.
Did this before last meeting?
Was that-
This
Yes,
was a couple
yeah.
of meetings
That was
ago.
the 13,000.
Yeah, right, but then.
No, but there was an additional one after that that was inadvertently left out. It was just a mistake that Mainscape made. It was,
Because I did notice there was one area.
that might be it.
Is this it?
2007-01.
Do you have anything in there that says we approve that? For some reason I thought we did, maybe in my mind I thought we were going to, but never.
I don't
actually get
remember.
around to it. Might not have made it onto the agenda.
I think that's what you told me when we spoke last time, that for some reason it didn't make it onto the agenda.
Okay.
So there was, I forget how many beds there, but,
Are they already doing it or has to get approved?
no, it has to be approved first. They have to buy the plants to put in there.
Jasmine beds in, how do you say it?
Exora,
No,
no,
Abuki
Awabuki,
hedge.
and some and some sod to fill in or tighten up the beds.
I know I looked at it when I saw it. I swear to God, I don't remember how many plants there were or what it looked. I'm gonna go upon your recommendation. This is something you suggest we should.
Yeah, it was part of our drive-through thing, and like I said, it was just one
date-
proposal that,
What's the date on that?
The date on this proposal is February 3rd.
Yeah, but it didn't come
It
through
didn't
right
come
away.
through.
it did not come through right away. That's what I say. It was inadvertently left out. It was just a mistake that, Mainscape.
Is this gonna be a budgetary problem?
Shouldn't be.
Okay. Do I have, we wanna make a motion here?
Let's move it, make a motion to approve.
We got one from Virginia. You want double?
I'll second it.
You want a second from JT? Any more discussion on this? All in favor?
I know Janice approves. She helped me
I
pick
know
it.
that.
She helped put the plan together. Committee of,
All right, that sounds fine. Anything else that,
Should we talk about the sprinkler heads while she's here? I don't know, it's on the agenda.
which ones you talking about?
This is update on aerators and sprinkler heads.
I know the aerators was an issue, sprinkler heads.
I'm not quite sure why.
Before you go on to that,
Yeah.
what motion did you just approve?
For the,
trees?
2,700.
No,
Or
the
the
trees were all, the 2,700.
Yeah, the trees were,
The trees were already approved, I thought, were they
Okay.
not? Yeah, it was just
All
waiting
right,
for
so
the
this
time.
proposal right
Were
here.
they? Oh, hang on a second. They weren't? Okay, we skipped over a couple things then. And we know we lost a month there because we didn't have
We had
a quorum, and I guess we got out of sync.
Then we just did the budget, really.
Yeah, and the next one was just budget. You're right, essentially. All right.
But
Do you have, what was the number on the trees? Do you have that there? 'Cause I can't.
no, that would be the anchor tree.
I don't have any.
You want me to look at my
I
laptop
have-
and find it, or?
I have the Mainscape
Or
one.
do you have it?
Hang on, let me see if I have it in this PO folder.
I have Mainscape, which was 2701.
But I can't overemphasize how important it is to get those lights exposed.
Right.
If they have to go to a little extreme with some of that trim.
No, it's not in here because,
It's, I know it's anchor tree.
Look at that.
Huh?
Look at that. You'll find it for you.
Red laptop. I know you emailed it to me.
yeah,
Got all sleeper man.
Yeah, we could do that right now.
and that was part of the big package, I think, the 13,000, yeah. And then the
Yes.
other one was longer.
Yeah, these are the biggie.
So when can we expect the aerators to get returned? Do you have a rough idea? Because when I get asked, I like to not just say I have no idea.
I understand. like I say, I know I just got the proposal to them, I wanna say in the last 2 days. And they have to order the parts. So I would say within the month.
Within a month, that's what I was gonna.
Let's just say within a month. That should give them plenty of time for the parts to come in and get out here and get it installed.
What's the location for that? Sprinkler?
Well, that was that was aerator specifically, and there was a bunch of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
they
multiple
were,
locations.
I just put well, on my proposal, it's got specific
Yeah, I know.
unit numbers and stuff, but it's in multiple locations.
And as far as sprinklers, you know, I don't know if they're getting out there to take a look at this as regularly as they're supposed to. I'm hoping they're gonna shut down right now. I mean,
Yeah, right. Well, to be quite honest, most of our irrigation system is now on battery controllers, and our rain sensors therefore are inadequate because they were part of the satellite system. You know, the rain sensor would tell the satellite to shut down a particular area. Since our satellites are not operating as designed, then our rain sensors are not operating as designed. But, so that would mean that they would have to manually go out and shut
Yeah.
these zones off.
And I guess that's what I'm saying, I'm hoping they're doing that, because otherwise, I mean, you're just gonna have mud.
Yeah, it's getting pretty wet.
They're still watering that burn, the ficus bushes, they were on this morning.
They were around this morning?
I thought, they
They
really
won't,
watering.
they won't be able to cut that.
All right, it was $5,100. So oak tree was 2,500. Okay, so yeah, the thinning was 42.27
Where do you see oak tree 2,500?
or 250. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, I wanted to go into tree removal business. It's not bad.
So what's the total, the total?
5,100.
5102.50. $4,227.50 is for the 89 thin and clean oak trees. Shady, shady lady, all that stuff along.
No, I think it says the shady ladies are not included.
Oh, yeah, no shady ladies, just only oaks.
And the 4750 is a little higher than we used to pay, but the trees are getting bigger too, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's at $45 a tree.
Those
It's
trees are
47.50
pretty
here.
thick. Will
They are pretty thick.
Are they gonna have a problem if they have a storm?
Not as much as the oak trees would. I mean, yeah, they're kinda top heavy, but if I was gonna start, I would start with those oaks.
Speaking of which, we gotta send out another reminder to the community, because some of those oaks on people's yards are.
Pretty low.
Yeah, well,
I just
growing and-
trimmed mine up, it looks good,
Yeah.
like in my backyard.
You know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
ones hanging
Yeah,
out
it's
over the
real-
street,
they
the
look really
sidewalks.
Yeah, so the removal of the palm trees and, for the lights is just over $920.
Okay. Well, let's just
And then
approve the whole
rest of it's just your
package.
normal, the rest of it's just your normal thinning.
I'm sure that Diane, you can get access to this, what he has on his screen again.
Yes, I can too, we can too, yes, we
And
both can.
I don't know if you have to look at it again or not, but,
No, this is good.
all right, so as proposed, I need a motion to approve as proposed by Al,
I move that we.
and a second,
accept it. I second.
got that? The removal of trees
I just
and
got it
trimming of the
Diane.
oaks on,
So you have to search for it.
You sent it?
I just sent it to you.
Thank you.
Little search needed.
okay.
Okay.
All approved?
Yep, anybody, everybody in favor?
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries. Let me think, was there anything else we had that was hanging out there? Cause, things got disrupted there, and I lost my train of thought on.
No, she wants to go home.
She has 10 minutes.
I still have 10 minutes.
Getting in at 7, huh? Seriously.
Yeah,
It is
At
nice
least there's
though.
some daylight though.
it is
Like
much
that.
nicer, although today I thought, oh yay, I get started on my pond inspections early. Well, I still had to do them in the rain. You know? I've been wearing wet tennis shoes all day.
One last thing, and I'm
Okay.
sure at the last supervisors meeting, I know Diane listens, I don't know if you're
No, I wait for
Several people
directive
that
afterwards.
complain about the median on the upper end of, Gateway. And, that still needs work to be done.
It is not completed.
Yeah, and substantial weeds are now popping up out of the.
That is the issue when you turn up the soil and you install a whole bunch of little small plants.
Give room for the.
And now you've opened it up for any seed bank to pop up.
Yeah.
And Mainscape is out there. I've been watching them
What's the
because
solution?
the solution is to go out there and pull them at this point.
No, it's not a pole.
Yes, it is. It is what it is.
Well, I
Yes.
gotta believe they'll be trimming them like they trim grass, am I correct?
Yes, eventually, yes.
Grass there first.
What's that?
Better put some
No, on the end, no, the ends will be planted.
The ends are gonna be, they're gonna be changed out with the same seasonal color annuals that we do in the others.
If you recall, we had this conversation a couple months ago, hold off and wait till we get in the cycle with the rest of Gateway, and that's what's gonna happen, and that'll be happening soon.
Otherwise, we'd have put in some plants and then we'd have just been ripping them right out, so.
But that should
yeah.
be getting planted about any idea?
Anytime now, yeah, I think it was like the second week of June, we were on schedule to have all of our annuals
And I
rotated
think
out.
what's happened is a lot of people don't know that, and that's why some of the complaining just doesn't look good, because the ends haven't been planted.
The ends haven't been completed, and yes, there are weeds popping up through that perennial peanut. And that's kind of the nature of the beast, and it doesn't make it look any better, I
Is
understand.
that peanut gonna get a little higher, go up a little?
No,
bit?
it's not, it's a
It
ground
stays
cover.
on the ground.
Yes.
That's it, huh?
If you leave Gateway at Daniels, out there at Daniels, that median, that's what is out there. And you see remember when they first put it in and it kinda looked like this down here and everybody's like, ooh, that's ugly? But look at it now.
So eventually it just gets solid and.
Yes,
pop off.
eventually it'll get thick enough and the seed source will die off, the weeds will quit popping up through it.
And there won't be
And
enough
they can,
sunlight getting to the soil to germinate them anyway.
right, and they can go out and, once or twice a year, they can mow over it, which will make it come back even thicker next time, and trim the edges.
Yeah.
You know, trim it along the curb line and keep it trimmed back, and it will look pretty.
Just gonna take some time.
You know, Kathleen Flaherty made the statement at the landscape committee, it's kinda like when you bake a cake, when you first take it out of the oven, it's not that pretty until you put your icing on
Depends on the cake,
it. So,
but,
you know,
yeah, but I tell you right now, with the ends not being planted, it just looks that much
Yeah.
worse.
I understand, and I'm
they
as
were-
anxious
I
as,
was actually surprised how many people in the audience, and I heard a couple get up here and talk, and I could watch the hoops going like this when they're complaining.
Yeah.
I'm saying, geez.
well, it's, you know, we put the landscape plans out we put it on the website, we put it on our Facebook page, I think,
Oh, yeah.
and we asked for input from the entire community, and all we got back was crickets. We didn't hear a word from
That's
anybody.
the response, I send emails out too, usually not like that.
And,
And then
we,
they claim, well, nobody told me, it's usually what we hear.
You don't hear anything until after it's done.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I will say this, that I know that, I mean, it looks a lot better than it would have, and, you know, we spent all this money, we're doing all this work. But I have to admit, I thought that the trees were gonna be a little bit more clustered too, rather than this tree.
well, I heard that in the landscape committee too, so I went back, well, first of all, we couldn't put them out on the exact spacing that was spec'd out by the architect. Unfortunately, he didn't take into account where the irrigation valves are, where the irrigation lines come in and cross over the medians, and electrical boxes for the lights and things that are out there. So, we did have to move a couple of trees, but in the grand scheme of things, I took that plan out. I went by the, the scale. You know, it has a scale on it, so you know what, those trees are technically spaced closer than what he spec'd on his sheet. So they were spec'd out to be 20 foot on center. We've got them like 15, 14 and a half.
112.
One of them's,
Yeah, just with
but
the
we
bottom
had
and the
to, we
vertical.
had to space them a little bit differently because, like I say, because we ran into irrigation boxes, we ran into electrical boxes, we ran into valve boxes.
Well, I think when it's all said and done, you know, some of the comments about, well, they took palm trees out and they put new ones in, what was that about? Obviously, it's not the same palm tree,
Right.
but I think it'll look fine. It just, not not there yet.
It's such a drastic difference, it takes a while to get used to seeing it. It
I'll tell you,
does.
when you pull in off of 82, it's like, bam. It's like trees all over the place. It really is. It's like, holy cow.
Right.
And now, of course, as soon as we get it all fixed up, the county will be looking at probably widening it or something.
Did you see them trimming the trees, trimming the bushes and stuff on the right-hand side when you go right? On the right-hand side, they're pulling out all kinds of shrubs and
Where are you
bushes.
talking
I
about?
saw that.
Too.
Oh, on 82.
I did
yeah, but
see that.
I'm talking about ultimately
I know.
Gateway will be getting
I know, but
wide,
I've
but
never
I
seen
figure
it.
it's probably still some years
This is
away.
really getting cleaned up, I mean, I was surprised.
Were you surprised to hear at the last board meeting, a gentleman from Hampton Park said that they did get a?
Doug Banks. Doug's
No,
working
it
hard.
wasn't Doug, it was, that Jim Braun from Hampton.
Oh, Jim Braun. Oh, not Doug Banks. I'm sorry, I confused name. Yeah, Jim Braun. Yeah,
He
James
got
Braun.
they're doing a study for a sound
This guy's
area.
a real bulldog. He really is, and he's forced the issue. He did through politics, and I think Margaret might have helped him a little bit with that, like, you know, some names in contact. He sinks his teeth in. He doesn't let go. But you know what? I don't think he's going to be successful. I really don't. And if they do it, and then they do it at the Villages, which is on the other side of Gateway from us.
They're gonna have to do ours.
They're gonna have to do
And
ours.
we're in the middle, and they got a wall there, nothing in front of, that's gonna look wacky, it really will. And the argument against us was, we're set back, because we have the lake there. And I did make that argument, trying to, you know, the noise carrying over the water and everything.
All I know is if you go to Burnstore Marina and go up to Burnstore and see their widening project,
Yeah.
they have bridges going over the freshwater canals 10 feet from people's houses. So, you wanna see a project over
And
there,
I know
it's ridiculous.
firsthand that, they're having a problem. They had somebody back out of a sale in Hampton Park.
I would've backed out too.
Because he was not told about the widening. And people have gone over there and asked about, I hear there's a widening going on, and salespeople saying, oh, I don't know anything about that.
They're gonna end up getting sued. They might as well.
Yeah, but you know about HB 1013, what it says in that thing, if it isn't in your contract, it didn't happen. They can say anything they want, there's not much you can do.
There's a
Better be
bear
recording the
sighting
conversation.
over at Gateway Greens this morning.
I heard,
Or-
yeah, last night, yesterday evening,
The
yeah.
guy posted it on Facebook, on YouTube.
It was in
Did it?
Pete's yard.
It was on the news this morning, Channel 7.
Yeah, they never found it, you know.
Well, we had one a couple years ago, walk through Stoneybrook. Somebody took a picture of it.
Well, if you take notice, all the construction, not just what you can see from Gateway Boulevard, if you went down Commerce Lakes, you go out Commerce Lakes to Tree Line and take a look what's going over there. Their habitat is gone.
Yeah,
So, you know, it's really not surprising.
yeah.
It's true. I mean, they wiped that. They scraped it off like a scout. I mean, just
Behind
When
my,
they-
behind my house where Hampton Park was, much of that was wooded. It was
Yes.
really heavily wooded. I know on some summer full moons, it was noisy back there at nighttime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd
I
be
remember
rowling
seeing
and growling and,
Where
you know.
Hampton Park is, there were a bunch of trees, we used to see this eagle's nest.
Yeah, and they weren't supposed to bother that, and they did.
They took
But I
it out.
swear to God, they were jaguars or something back there
Just
attacking
cut
things,
those trees down.
panthers and what, yeah, it's money, no doubt.
It's on the CI. Where do you want?
Yeah.
But it really
Many-
was, that
many
was
times.
like a jungle back there at one time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. And then there were cows back there when we moved in.
Yeah.
When they first started clearing that for Pelican, for the additional, building between us and Pelican, I started seeing deer out in the wetlands where I'd never seen them before.
Well, it's almost 3:30, I don't wanna tie you up, is there anything
Okay.
else you got for us?
Not anything that I can think of. If something comes to mind, I'll send it to Diane so she can vet it out to all the committee members.
Anything else?
Okay?
Tell your mower,
Huh?
tell your mower.
I did.
Thank you.
I did. I took him right by there
Okay,
that last Thursday morning.
thank you.
You're welcome.
That was just, it's just something.
Thank you,
to
Alma,
keep on.
appreciate it.
You're welcome very much. I hope you all have a great
Yeah.
evening.
Oh, and now we do.
All right. Got some updates, we're great, because I forgot about those couple other things, I really did.
approval's done.
Yeah.
Well, they were on agendas a long time ago.
Yeah. Or one was supposed to be, but didn't make it because it wasn't in the package, it should have been. All right, so that will be, let's see, monuments, update on monument sign at 82, I'm not sure what that was about.
It's kind of bare, they kept saying they were gonna plant something around.
Oh, it just left.
Yeah, but you know what, I think that's also the
That's
issue with the
seasonal.
cycle. It's in the
Yeah.
same, with the cycle with the planting, I think that's what's gonna happen there.
I remember them saying something about the soil there, that things just didn't seem to live.
It's probably lousy soil, cause who knows what Mark
What-
filled in with over there to bring that up. Alright, so I'll assume that's gonna be taken care of at the, next thing, cause I know what you mean, it is kind of barren out there, should look better.
Just put a follow-up.
Hey, just think about this, this will be the first time at our end of Gateway Boulevard, there will ever be a flower planted by Gateway. Because we've lived here all these years, and we've seen all the nice plantings further down, nothing at
Yeah.
our end, never has been planted. This will be a first. Generators, monument.
Marks on the main entrance,
You
PMI.
got 2 floors, do you notice that?
I know it, man, I must have been cruising, trying to, moving too fast.
And as far as the tire marks go, you know, the rain has reduced
Yeah.
some of it. Not happy about it. I'm not gonna, my own personal opinion, Paul and I talked about it in Margaret, and I said, you know, do we really wanna go to the mat on this or not? And he did get, the guy from PMI came out, and they're taking care of some